Hey folks, it's RedFalcon, and this year I'm going to be playing Ultima I, First Age of Darkness for my Play a Game from the Year You Were Born series. Now a little background about this game. It was first written for the Apple II in 1982 by Richard Garriot, who eventually moved on to form Origin and continue with the Ultima series. Now, it was recoded for the Commodore 64 in '86, which is why I selected it for playing. However, I'm playing the DOS version, which was released in 1987, so it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm still going to say it counts just because it was recoded in '86, so that's my justification for it. Well, let's just jump right in, shall we? It is a fantasy adventure game. So we're going to start here, and we're going to create a new character. Now, if you've ever played a fantasy game before, which if you're watching this, I imagine most of you have, you've got your base stats. Strength determines how much damage you do in combat. Agility is the chance of your attack connecting and also dodging an enemy attack, and also your chance of stealing. Stamina is how much HP you lose when you hit. Charisma determines the amount of gold you receive when selling items. Wisdom affects the probability of spells working and magical prices. And intelligence is the effects of a spell and also the prices you get at market. So we're primarily going to be playing a fighter type character, so I'm going to bump these up to 20. And actually, you can't have higher than 25 in any one stat. So I'm going to make these 20 across the board. Okay, now I get to choose my race. Standard fantasy affair, we've got the human, they get a +5 intelligence. The elf, who gets a +5 agility bonus. The dwarf, who gets a +5 bonus. And they're called a bobbit in this race, but essentially they're hobbits, or the more generic term, halflings. They get a -5 strength, but in return they get a +10 wisdom. So we're going to be playing a dwarf because they get an extra point in strength. And he's going to be male. The gender doesn't matter. Now, this is your class. Fighters get a +10 to strength and agility. Clerics get a +10 to wisdom, and they also have access to a prayer. Wizards have an intelligence of 10. I have not played a wizard, but I imagine they start with a certain number of spells. And Thief gets +10 to his agility. So we're going to be playing a fighter, which bumps my strength up to 35, my agility to 30, and my stamina at 20. And he needs a name. Well, I'm going to go with Brylus because that's the normal character name I go for a build like this. And I want to save this character. Yes. Alright, takes us back to the menu. We're going to continue from a previous game. And as you see, I've already made a character previously. And you can have up to 4 character slots. I'm going to go with Brylus. And please wait. Alright. So this is the overworld of Ultima. You'll notice we've got a window down in the bottom of the screen. This is where information will be shown. To the right of that are our vital statistics. Hits, that's our number of hit points. We start with 150 because we have 20 stamina. Food, every 2 blocks we move on the map consumes 1 food. When food reaches 0, we die. Our experience, gained from killing monsters and completing quests. And our coin, which is the amount of gold we have. Now, right where I started, you can see a little castle over to the west. So I'm just going to move up over here and investigate. If you press I, it tells you the location, what it's called. This is the Castle of Lord British, aka Richard Garriot. He puts himself in all of his games. And if we press believe it's E. We'll enter in the castle. And we're the little character coming in from the west. But we've got a courtyard, we've got, looks like a weaponry, a prison, armor, and a food. And we can navigate through here. And the little guy jumping around, he's a jester. And we can walk up to the king. We press T to communicate. Alright, so we can either pay, offer him money or offer our services. If you offer him money, he'll restore your hit points. We're going to offer our services for a quest. And so Lord Garriot tells us to go forth and find the grave of the lost soul. Do not return until thy quest is done. So, grave of the lost soul. And there's no real quest tracker, so you have to write all this stuff down. And we're all like, all right. Now, if you press Z, it gives you your inventory. And just right off the bat, we start off with leather armor and 2 daggers. So we're moderately equipped for adventuring. However, we need to go into town and get some food. So we're going to go down here. And this is the city of Britain, which is Lord British's kingdom. Alright, we're going to go over here and we're going to press T and we're going to buy. Let's buy some food. Let's go with 5. Alright. 240 food should hold us over. Alright, let's see. Let's see how much armor costs. Okay, leather armor, 47, chainmail. Let's see how much we could get for selling. Leather armor, we're just going to get 2 gold back, so it's really not worth it. Now, the transport, you can buy stuff like horses and other forms of transport. And you know what? Let's go ahead and buy a horse. That'll help us travel faster and consume less food. Alright, there's our horse. And now this game has like a key for everything, so press B. There we go. And now we've mounted the horse. Now, I know for a fact there's a dungeon up here. Oh. And we've got a wandering monster. Alright. You press X to exit your craft. Now, when you're in the overland, when you're in the overworld view, you press A, and then with the direction keys, point to the direction of the enemy. So in this case, we're going to go right. And you'll see I hit the orc, did 3 damage. The orc hit me, and he did 2 damage. So we're just going to repeat this until one of us falls over dead. Alright. Now it looks like a knight coming up here, coming right for us. So we're gonna move up and intercept him. Same deal. We're actually doing 8 damage to him, and he's just doing 2 to us, so we're doing really good. Alright. And we're going to board our horse. Alright, and there's another town right there, but here's our first dungeon. Dungeon of Montor. It's a fairly small dungeon, and it's a pretty good dungeon to start earning money in. So we're going to press E to go in. Now this is probably something you weren't expecting. A first-person dungeon crawling experience. Though the graphics are really primitive, it's still pretty much a first-person dungeon crawler. Alright, so our first enemy here is a thief. And these monsters just kind of randomly show up. And he hit me for 5 damage, and I press A, and I attack. I just did 5 damage. Do it again. He's dead. He dropped 9 copper. Now, to regain hit points, you can get hit points back by exiting the dungeon after killing a certain number of monsters. I think you get more hit points back the more monsters you slay. So we can just press K. We'll go back up, and you'll see our hit points went from like 120 something to 144. So we're almost at full hit points. And we'll press E. We'll go back in. All right. Go up. There we go. Go through here. This is another room. There's a bat. Kill the bat. Alright, now this ladder goes down. You can tell it goes down because there's an opening on the floor. Which, for those of you who are accustomed to better looking graphics, you have to put it in perspective. Back in 82, when this first came out, this was pretty revolutionary stuff. Now, the one thing you have to be careful is when you take damage. All right, I need to actually get out of here first. When you take damage from monsters will still attack you, regardless if you're facing them. So you have to really keep an eye on your hit points. All right, we're going to climb up here. All right, restore our hit points back to 116. Go back in, rinse, lather, repeat. And the whole point of this game is to get as strong and powerful as you can, so you can go up into space and defeat the evil necromancer that's been terrorizing the fine people of this continent. Pretty much standard fantasy adventure affair. Oh, a ranger. Okay, killed the ranger. All right. Oh. And this is also a game where you have to play it kind of slow too. Ah, coffin. Alright, if you see a coffin, you just press, let's see, I believe it's O. We found some money. Wow, they're just like lining up to get killed. Look at that. Alright, and you can see our hit points have dropped below 100, so we're going to have to... Oh, I guess I should explain something first. This is a magic barrier. You can create them with a spell, but you have to have a destroy spell to destroy it. And I'm a fighter, and I do not have any spells. But thankfully, we can go around that. Oh. Alright. Since I've killed so many guys, I should get a lot of hit points back when I... Oh, and I'm dead? How'd I die? Oh, you know what? I wasn't paying attention to, there must have been a monster outside of my field of view, and he killed me. Okay, and when you die, you lose your coin, and your HP and your food gets reset to 99. Oh, wow. And then you get resurrected to a random spot. But you don't lose your form of transportation, so my horse is still there by the dungeon. And I don't have any money, so I can't buy any more food. So I'm going to have to work my way back to that. There's an orc. Alright, here we go. Now we're back. And unfortunately, the game doesn't save your body. Oh. So yeah, when you're playing this game, you have to keep an eye on your hit points. And I don't know why I turned away from that monster when I did. Alright. So it's like every time you move, you look down at your hit points. Down, down. Oh. Alright. Okay, to climb up. Alright. Alright. And he's gone. I got 77 coin. I'm in a pretty good spot right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Q to save my progress, and I'm going to end the video here. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm going to do a part 2, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.